Really got two more, but check this out though. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you this scripture. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm finna get into the spiritual, a little spiritual, just a little bit. I'm finna get into some news. Then I'm gonna get into some. Nah, I'm gonna get into the spiritual stuff. Then I'm gonna get into the news, and then we gonna wrap it up. Okay, so I was reading this yesterday morning, and I done studied it a little bit before. Now check this out. The mixtape, and I ain't did no music in a minute. I just ain't feel like it. On vacation, I wasn't trying to preach nothing or do no music. I just didn't really feel like it. I was grooving. I was doing some other stuff. And plus I didn't feel touched, you know what I'm saying, to preach nothing. I ain't have no word or nothing. So I didn't have no specific word that I know he wanted me to preach. I didn't have that. I ain't finna filibuster, just try to make up something. I ain't finna do that. And I wasn't really feeling the music. It's been a minute since I touched that pen. I mean, I suppose I'll get to it in not too long. But the mixtape is such a time as this. But check this out. I got stuck on this scripture. And it's actually a popular scripture, Song of Solomon, talking about relationships and love and time. It all come together. Okay, the Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 7, chapter 3, verse 5, and then one more time, chapter 8, verse 4. Now, I done studied it before, but I was reading it Sunday morning, and sometimes you get stuck on it. Like, hold up, man. Nah, hold up. I'm finna study this mug. I'm finna get some peace. I'm finna get some understanding about this scripture, man. Now, check it. It says, I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. So I feel like it's the woman talking. You got the man. You know, Song of Solomon is a romance book, but it also represents the union of Christ and the church. But it represents the relationship of a man and a woman. Yeah, a man and a woman. What's right in God's sight is marriage. So you could say a husband and a wife, but it could be applied to just male and female. You did. But so I feel like this is the woman, but you got the man that talks, you got the woman that talks. Then I think you got the woman's companions that talk. Then you got like the woman's brother that talks in chapter 8. But it's mainly conversation between the man and the woman on some love, on some romance stuff. Okay, chapter 7. Now, before this scripture, it's the woman talking. So I think it's still the woman talking in this scripture. Same thing in chapter 3. You see the woman talking before verse 5, and then verse 5, I feel like that's still the woman. Okay, check this out. Hold up. Let's look at chapter 8. Really, chapter 8, the context is what helped me come up with what I think is the right interpretation. So in chapter 8, you see the woman talking again before verse 4, and then you see verse 4. So I feel like it's the woman saying this. Chapter 2, verse 7, chapter 3, verse 5, chapter 8, verse 4. Check it. Chapter 2, verse 7, what I'm going to read. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, talking to the women, by the roes and by the hinds of the field. That's like gazelle, antelope, deer, basically. By the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye, okay, this is it right here. That ye stir not up, nor awake my love, till he please. Now that word my is in italics, so that means the translators put that word in to make it more sensible, but that word was not in the original that they translated from. Uh-oh. You got to study this thing. I used to just read the word, Then I used to read on most days, but I take like a day out the week and study. But now I read, and when I see something, I study it right then. You know what I'm saying? I read and then I study it. If I think I need to study it, I study it right then. I don't put it aside to study it later. I study it right then. So I study and read at the same time now. Okay. Okay, that you stir not up nor awake my love till he please. Or you could say that ye stir not up nor awake love till he please. But in the Amplified, it says till she please. So in the Amplified, I'm thinking that they think it's the man talking. And he's saying, stir not up nor awake my love. Or don't awake love, or don't awake my love till she please. So that's like the man talking. Okay, but I think it's the woman talking. So you could say, stir not up, don't awake my love till he please. That don't sound quite right though. This the way I look at it. You can take out the my. Stir not up nor awake love. Watch this. I had to study it in the commentary, and it's not he, it's not she, it's it. It's it. Okay, now check this out. Check this out. So this is how I interpret it, or this is how I read it. That ye stir not up, I charge you, O you daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field. That you stir not up, don't awake love till it please. Now that's what makes sense to me, because check it out. It really like love have a mind of its own. Like I done heard people say, when you fall in love or whatever, you don't control. I heard women say that, like they can't control falling in love. But check this out though. People that's been married a long time and they was blessed with a partner from God. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you in a situation, yeah, I know my wife, I know God sent her to me, or vice versa, the wife, oh yeah, I know God sent him to me. You know what I'm saying? That kind of time. Okay, don't stir up, don't awake love till it please. Okay, now that's timing. You talking about love, like you can't fabricate it, you can't manufacture it, you can't force it. That's what my brother told me. He blessed with a good marriage. You know what I'm saying? Say you can't force it. You know what I'm saying? You can't awaken like true love between a man and a woman. I'm talking about your soulmate, your match, when God match y'all together, or you find that one person for you. You know what I'm saying? That's something that was not in your control though. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people who God sent them their spouse and they wasn't even looking for a spouse at the time. And then there's people who looking for a spouse and God still ain't gave them a spouse. And it's been a long time. And you got people who wasn't even looking for a spouse, but they ended up with that special someone. You know what I'm saying? It's like it got a mind of its own, but it's in the hand of God. You can't make it happen. And you can't make it happen in your time. You can't tell God nothing about time. He do what he want to do, and he do it when he want to do it. You can ask God to do this in a specific amount of time, or by the end of this year, or you can ask God to do it within a certain amount of time, but he might and he might not. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell God nothing about time. Because a day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as a day. What you gonna tell God about time? The times and seasons are in his hand. But what I'm talking about, relationships and love, I'm talking about that one though. That one. I ain't talking about multiple. I'm talking about when you feel like you met the person where you want to cash in. You don't want to be in the game no more. You don't want to be in the field no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you really feel like that's the one for you. And it's a mutual feeling. When God put y'all together, that's not something you could force. That's only something you can receive. That's not something you can make happen. Only God can make that happen and you just flow with it. You know what I'm saying? So that type of thing is not in man's control. That's a gift and you can only receive it from God. But you can't force it. People trying to stir up love. People trying to awake love, but it's not the time. So that's why you have all these lopsided relationships where the love is not, it's not mutual, it's not reciprocal. That's why you have all these bad relationships where one person is putting in work but the other person don't care. One person trying to make the relationship work, the other person tearing it down. That's how you get all these bad relationships. People want love and they trying to force it to be a loving situation, but you can't force it. You trying to work as hard as you can for this relationship, but the other person ain't giving a dang. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't force love. You can't stir it up if God ain't you know what I'm saying? If God ain't helping you, if God ain't put you with the right person, if God ain't put you with that person that he have that's meant for you, you know what I'm saying? You can be trying to show all the love and love this person as much as you want to love them, but it's not going to be reciprocated because you can't force love. And then the reason I come up with that interpretation is you have to look at the context, because that's kind of a confusing scripture, but I think that's the best translation. You can take the my out and make the he it. Stir not up nor awake love till it please. Because you can be with somebody and you trying to love them and you trying to have a blessed relationship, but they not putting into it what you putting into it. They don't care about it like you care about it. They don't love you like you love them. Uh-oh. Okay, so but then look at chapter 8. It talk about love some more. Okay, it's the woman. I'm going to start with chapter 8, verse 3. The woman talking. His left hand is under my head and his right hand should embrace me. So that's like you got a woman by the back of her neck and then your other hand is, you know what I'm saying, on her back, right on her butt or above her butt, but you hugging the woman. Hey, so that's what the woman talking about. Then she say, I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, that ye stir not up, nor awake love, the way I translate it, that ye stir not up, nor awake love, till it please. Then you got verse 5, but look at verse 6. Now, really look at verse 7. Because my main interpretation of that is that you can't fabricate it, you can't manufacture it, you can't make a loving situation. You have to be blessed with the right person. It's not under your control. God had to bless you with that person as a gift. It ain't, you can have the wrong person and try to make them be the right person. You can do right by them, but they not going to do right by you. Or they might do right by you, but it's just something in you won't let you do right by them. You know what I mean? Because that's not the one. You know what I mean? But you can have all type of situationships and relationships. But I'm talking about that real mutual where you really love them and they really love you and y'all on the same page. Like, you know, that's kind of tough. That's different. That's something only God can bless you with. But check it though, verse 7. It says, many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. So love is so strong, you can't kill it. Matter of fact, oh yeah, it says love is strong as death in verse 6. And I think Tupac said that fear was stronger than love, but that's not true. You know what I'm saying? The people that got fearful probably didn't have the love for him that they professed to have. But cause he was really talking about Biggie when he said that. He felt like Biggie was scared cause them Brooklyn dudes robbed Pac, and he thought Big was, I guess, could have stopped him, or you know what I mean? But I don't think Big really had nothing to do with that. Just cause it's a whole lot of people from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean, what I'm saying, that Big can call shots. Big wasn't no shot caller. He can't control what other people do. And I don't think he knew about it anyway. But anyway, okay, so we see how strong love is. You can't kill it. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. Watch this. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contemned. It would utterly be despised. So you can't buy it. A loving relationship where you really love that person the same way they love you, or the same way you love them, they love you. The same way they love you, you love them. That's that godly union. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy it. You can't force it. You can't fake it. You can't fabricate it. But on the flip side, you can't kill it. You can't destroy it. Love is to the death. People will die for the ones they love. You know what I mean? Love is stronger than death because people will die because of love. Love will make you die for somebody. Take a bullet for somebody. That's what Jesus did for us on the cross. Love, stronger than death. Matter of fact, love casts out all fear. Perfect love. You know what I'm saying? So, chapter 8 in them scriptures is basically saying that love, or to be in a real live loving relationship, that's a gift from God. That's a gift from God. You can't buy it. You can't fake it. You can't force it. You know what I mean? It's all, it's a gift from God. So when God bless you with that gift, you walk in it, you receive it, you flow with it. But till then, you can't force it. Trying to pour out your love on the wrong one, trying to make them love you back. You know what I mean? That's not going to get it. It ain't going to work. That's why some people be like, oh, she was so good to you, and you did her like that. Vice versa. He was so good to you, girl, and you doing him like that. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? That real mutual, reciprocal, real live love, romantic love, not a brotherly, sisterly love, friend love. Nah, that real romantic love. But, you know what I'm saying? Mutual, reciprocal. You ain't trying to do them no wrong. They not trying to do you no wrong. You not trying to, you trying to do right by them. They trying to do right by you. I'm trying to be a blessing to her. She trying to be a blessing to me. All that type of stuff. Ain't nobody trying to get over on nobody. By love, you serving one another. I'm trying to see how I can please her. She trying to see how she can please me. That right there. That's a gift from God. You can't force it. Can't buy it. You can't pay for that. You know what I'm saying? You can only receive it when God bless you to be in that kind of situation. You can only receive it and walk in it. You can't force it though. You can try to pour all your love on somebody trying to get them to love you the way you love them, and it ain't gonna work. You can't stir up love nor awaken it, until it please, or until God bless you to be in that situation. Facts, man. Stop playing with me out here, man. Stop playing with me out here, man. Hey, it's real in the field, though. Okay, so that's that. That's that scripture. And another thing about spiritual stuff I'm going to give you, man, it's some seasons that you can't go back to, man. Like, I remember going 6 years abstinent. in love with Jesus, man. But like at the same time, though, I know for a fact, like I had stuff in my soul, like I needed to be healed and delivered and stuff like that. So, but I was so in love with Jesus being abstinent, I don't even remember it being a struggle. I don't remember it. Maybe it was, but I was just in love with Jesus, man. That was a special season. Like I still love the Lord, but it's just different now. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are adult, you still the same person you were when you were 3, 4, 5, but at the same time, you're not the same. You dig? Like you can't go back to that. Like, but like that time, man, from the age of 20 to 26, like I can't go back to that. Now I can still walk with God. Don't get me wrong, but I can't go back to that. Like that was special, but I can't go back to that. Like life is just too different now. You know what I mean? And then I remember being in LA, like I was really on missionary status. Like we was working with our own hands, but just being where I was, being in LA like that, and I was working, but I didn't have a job. Like they took care of us. And we did a whole bunch of outreaches and stuff. Like I can't go back to that. Even college, actually living on campus in Oklahoma, I can't go back to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got seasons in life, man, that it was a beautiful thing, but you can't go back to it. Like you got to make it happen for today under your present circumstances. Like you can't go back to that. You know, some things you can kind of there's some things I did then I can do now. Like I can still do some of the same activities and stuff, but it's not gonna be exactly the same because I'm not in the same place. I'm not under the same circumstances. I'm not around the same people. Like, cause I had some beautiful seasons in my life, but I can't go back to that. I'm different. I've evolved. You know what I'm saying? I'm different. I'm the same, but I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same, but I'm different, you know? So it's crazy. But I had some beautiful seasons, but I'm in a beautiful season now, but it's different than what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I be thinking about that. Matter of fact, it's a scripture in Ecclesiastes again. But this not what I was saying though, but here go the scripture though. It said, why was the former days better than these? Why was the past days better than today? He said, don't say that. You do not inquire wisely. It's not wise for you to talk like that. You know what I mean? You can't be living in the past. You got to focus on today, the here and now, and do what you can to be blessed in the future. The future ain't no guarantee either, but do what you can to be blessed in the future just in case you make it to the future. You did. Because you don't want to be unprepared. You didn't do what you should have done today, so that caused you to be lacking tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy today. Do what you need to do for today. Have fun for today, but do what you need to do so you can be blessed in the future too. And then he said, God set the one against the other, the day of prosperity and the day of adversity. It's all in the game. But either way, trust in God. Thank God for the prosperity. Call on God. Trust God to carry you through the adversity. You know what I'm saying? All that there. But yeah, man, there's some seasons in life, man, that you just can't go back to. You know, but specifically what made me think about that was abstinence, though. Because I know at the beginning of the year, not the beginning, at the end of January, I sanctified myself, and I lasted for about a month. I went through to the end of, close to the end of February. I did a good month. I know I went the whole month of February without smoking weed. I didn't smoke no weed in the month of February. And I know I went about a month without without fornicating, masturbating, none of that. But I didn't last though. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a good time. I don't regret it, but it just didn't last though. It just didn't last. But yeah, yeah, I still want to do the Lord's will, man. But ooh, I can't go back to that. I don't know if I have the ability. I mean, it's not in me anyway. It's God empowering you. But I don't know. It's just it's something in me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's something in me, man. I can't blame it on God. But I know I did it before, extended season. But I tried to go back to that. It just didn't work out though. Uh cause that's abstinence is not my calling, you know, like Apostle Paul. That's not my calling. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I could be wrong. You don't know something until God boom, until God give you a revelation. So I don't think that's my gift though. I don't think that's my gift though. Yeah, I don't think that's my gift though. But I did it at that season. But nowadays it's like, nah, I think I don't know. It might be ingrained in my soul, in my habitual. It's like a mm-mm. I think I'm too exercised in sex and just the whole game. The whole game. I don't know. I mean, you can really do whatever you really want to do. I probably just don't really have the will to really do that. But I definitely want to get right, whether it's by abstinence or by marriage. But I ain't finna try to force nothing either. You can't force love at all. You can't force it to be right. You just got to be blessed. It's a gift. Everything is a gift. Salvation is a gift. The baptism of the Holy Ghost is a gift. Finding being set with the right partner, husband, wife, that's a gift. That ain't something that's in man. That's a gift from God. And until then, you gotta work with what you got, you know. So yeah, that's a season I had a mind to go back to, but then again, I was like, nah. I was like that was a beautiful season, but nah, we seeking marriage, at the right time when God say so. Until then, just forgive me, please. I'll be fornicating, uh, and that's what it is. But just being honest. But I really walk with God, ask Him to help me through this. But He be teaching me. But I also feel like if God want to bless a woman with a husband, or He want to bless a man with a wife, like it's so easy for Him to do it, bro. It's so easy. You know, it ain't nothing hard about it. You can meet somebody in the grocery store. You can meet somebody at the club. Uh, but to be honest, the club is like the place where I really meet the least women. I meet women. You meet women on the job. The club is actually the place where I meet the least women, to be honest with you. Meet women on the internet, you know what I mean? Anything. At a baseball game, anything. You dig? If it's meant to be, or if God gonna allow it to be, it can come anyway. But yeah, it ain't nothing. It's very easy for God to do it if He choose to do it. But I'll be like, dang, why you withhold that from me? Like, I gotta go through all this, and I mean, it's fun. But you have some lonely times, some boring times, and then you have times just I'm finna get into something, and then you have times where what I'm saying you get that in. You know what I'm saying? I remember a chick was asking me in L.A. like what it's like to be a player. I was like, shoot, sometimes you be by yourself, sometimes you be alone, sometimes you might be lonely, sometimes you might just be bored. But then you kicking it with different chicks though. Sometimes it just depends on the day or the night. Sometimes you kicking it with different chicks though. You dig? So it's fun too. You know what I mean? Everything got the pros and cons, man. But yeah, I couldn't go back to that season, man. Not that I didn't want to, but I think my desires and stuff just probably got the best of me. I am human, you did. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, it's so easy to give somebody a wife or give a woman a husband. So I'm like, God, if you withholding it from me, then like you must want me to go through this. Like that don't mean God want me to sin, but He want me to go through this singleness. You know what I'm saying? And in that singleness is when you choose, I'm a fornicate. I'm finna play the field. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna be out here living and learning, doing what it do. You know what I mean? You made that decision, but cause I don't want to lose my soul, cuz on God. But I believe God got me though. Okay, so we finna end that. Yeah, I'm gonna get everything. Uh, oh yeah. I said I had got stuck on that scripture though. I was reading and I had got stuck on that scripture, man. I was like, heck nah, we finna get to the bottom of this, man. I looked at the commentaries, I looked at the Amplified, I looked at other translations. I didn't look at the Hebrew, but I looked at all that other stuff, and then I just prayed and meditated. I'm like, and then I tried to look at the context too. You did, so that's how I came up with that. Okay,